Hello, my name is Bianca, and I firmly believe that you have the ability to achieve every single one of your wildest dreams. You deserve big impact without burning out. And I, as an author, global business leader, single mother to 4 beautiful children, entrepreneur, speaker, busy bee, am dedicated to ensuring that the working world is infused with more graceful productivity, with kind leadership, and with more of an understanding that success and peace can coexist. Because too often we see too much freneticism and this frantic output rather than what I focus on, which is this graceful productivity. Because actually, when you strategize your life to focus on what matters most to you, in the areas that matter most, in the ways that you shine and are strongest naturally within, then life becomes a whole lot easier. And I believe that work should be joyful. Life should be joyful. There shouldn't be the amount of strife and struggle that we see in the working world today. So I have recovered from many burnouts over a decade or so, and bottled up what it is that I have found that worked for me, that enables me to be here today sharing with you the work that I do, dedicated to eliminating burnout in the way that I describe it, one twinkle at a time, because I believe that you have the right to star in your own story, and it's about strategizing how. So I have written a book called Big Impact Without Burnout, and I'm very proud of this because it's a real glossary of everything that has worked for me over the past 20 years, really, that I've learned along the way, that enables me to sit here now and proudly say I have a busy, fizzy, dynamic, fun, full, rich, invigorating life, and I'm not falling over. So core tenets of the book's principles are around the fact that you have to go within to establish foundational solidity before you can go out into the world and achieve your most ambitious work and develop your most rewarding relationships and gain the wealth, in whatever definition of wealth that you have, that you so desire, and ultimately find a place of fulfillment. So the book is constructed in 2 parts. Part 1 is focused on what I call the foundational imperatives. So the work that you need to do to go within and ensure that you stabilize yourself in such a way that then you're ready to unleash yourself into part 2, which is what I describe as the expansion phenomenon. And when we enter the expansion phenomenon, we are at a place where we become more magnetic because our energy is so abundant and effusive, and we understand what we're focusing on, we understand what our strengths are, we understand how to apply ourselves, and as such, our work becomes brighter, more vibrant, and more profuse, but without any of that freneticism, because we're actually intentional and we know that we're shining our brightest lights because we're directing that effort and energy into where we know will have the greatest impact. So the 2 parts of the book are very much inner and then outer. So I want to just talk broadly about both aspects through the lens of the importance of decision making and the importance of committing to choice. Because how your life is today is quite simply a manifestation of the decisions that you made yesterday, last year, last month. Today literally is how you created your reality. So yes, there are always going to be certain things that we can't control, but we can certainly control our attitudes and our micro habits, our macro habits, our macro decisions. There's so much control that we do have. And it's for us to take control of the decisions that we make and ensure that we honor them. So a very core thrust of the 8 strategies in the book is making decisions with integrity and then honoring them with integrity, because I firmly believe that we cannot have the impact that we so desire if we're compromising ourselves in any way, and that compromise of self would be not being in integrity, because integrity means we are whole, so we are entirely one, which means we're fully aligned with what we're thinking and what we're doing. And only in that place, when we are showing up fully aligned, fully congruent, in the sense that we're honoring our values and being the true people that we are, shining our innermost essence, our soul, if you like, our spirit, and following that natural desire and interest in life, and delivering ourselves out into the world in such a way that is congruent with those values and who we know ourselves to be, only then can we really, really shine. So you need strategy, you need conscious decision making. And when we think about burnout and quite how intense burnout is in the world today, there are three aspects that I have certainly found in my journey that have impacted the severity of burnout, and equally how to remedy the pain of burnout. You cannot isolate burnout into one core dimension of your life. Burnout is a reaction to compromised areas across either your physical, your mental, or your emotional. And quite often it tends to be all three. And I spent many years practicing how to fix myself physically. So if I felt that I was burning out too frequently, then I would get a little checklist of, okay, let's try physical health. So let's go to the gym more, let's reduce sugar, no processed foods, and try and honor the physicality of myself. But that in isolation wasn't enough to stop the burnouts. I tried then the mental side of staving off burnout, so being more meditative, making sure that I was reading more self-help books, making sure that I was practicing time for relaxation and soothing my mind, and really trying to mentally not feel so stressed. But that also in isolation didn't work. So I was trying the physical, I was trying the mental. But actually for me, the real key that then unlocked where the true joy and solution to sustainable productivity that is graceful and that is flowy came from understanding that it was the emotional aspects of me that I really needed to go and work within to ensure that I stopped burning out. Because I came to realize that if there are niggles in our lives that are making us feel uncomfortable and disingenuous to who we are and who we know ourselves to be, then that emotional conflict inside, whether it's conscious or unconscious, that emotional conflict will be creating a stress and knot that is as debilitating as a lack of sleep or too much alcohol or feeling overworked and overwhelmed. So addressing the emotional as well as the physical and the mental is the only way that you can successfully glide out of feeling a threat of burnout or actually cascading down into burnout. So within my book, I tell my story about the ups and downs, the undulations of my boom-bust life of growing businesses, of raising my family, of always reaching for my stars and achieving my dreams, but crashing, burning, again and again and again, until I stopped in 2015 and finally found that almost miraculous revelation that the physical, the mental, and the emotional were the three dimensions I needed to simultaneously honor and preserve and nourish so that I was able to go forth and flourish. So I now dedicate my life to well-being, both myself, my clients. I'm a success strategist. I work with clients in ensuring that every ambitious, high-performing individual can step into this place of full integrity and enjoy joy and all the abundance that life has to offer without falling over. So over the course of the next few weeks, I will be sharing with you highlights of the strategies that are in my book, Big Impact Without Burnout. And I'd love you to join me on the journey. We're going to start by going into the foundational imperatives, which are energy, mindset, time, and purpose. And then we'll move on to the expansion phenomenon, where we will look at work, connections, wealth, and fulfillment. I really look forward to sharing this journey with you and illuminating all the different ways that you can truly step into your biggest impact without burnout, because that is absolutely your right. Thank you.